Pressure defines most modern lives. Problems appear everywhere. Work stress, financial pressure, difficult people, constant noise in the mind. Many believe the world is responsible for this chaos. Bad luck, unfair situations, the behavior of others, endless obstacles standing in the way of peace. So the natural reaction becomes frustration, anger, and exhaustion. Day after day, people try to fight the world, trying to control everything outside themselves. Yet the more they try, the more life feels out of control. This quiet struggle is not new. Human beings have faced it for thousands of years, but more than 2,000 years ago, a group of philosophers developed a way to remain calm, focused, and powerful, even when life became difficult. Their solution was simple, but incredibly powerful. Instead of trying to control the world, they focused on mastering the mind. These thinkers became known as Stoics, part of the philosophy called Stoicism. Their ideas guided some of the strongest and most disciplined individuals in history. Among them was the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled an empire while constantly facing war, betrayal, and political pressure. Despite that chaos, he wrote personal reflections reminding himself to stay calm, rational, and disciplined. Another Stoic teacher, Epictetus, began life as a slave, yet he became one of the most respected philosophers of the ancient world, teaching that true freedom is not political power or wealth, but control over one's own mind. Their wisdom survived for centuries because it worked. It still works today. At the center of Stoic philosophy stands a powerful structure built on four simple pillars: wisdom, courage, temperance, justice. These four principles guided Stoics through war, poverty, criticism, and personal tragedy. They were not abstract ideas meant only for philosophers. They were practical tools for daily life. In fact, these pillars were designed to solve the majority of human problems by changing the way a person thinks and responds to events. When people lack wisdom, they waste energy on things they cannot control. When they lack courage, they avoid the difficult actions that could improve their lives. When they lack temperance, impulses and emotions take control, leading to regret and chaos. When they lack justice, relationships collapse and trust disappears. The Stoics believed that if these four pillars were strengthened, most personal struggles would begin to fade. That belief is the reason Stoic teachings have survived for more than 2,000 years and are still studied by leaders, athletes, entrepreneurs, and psychologists today. What many people do not realize is that Stoicism was never designed for quiet libraries or classrooms. It was built for real life. It was practiced in battlefields, courts, markets, and political offices. Stoic thinkers trained themselves to remain steady when everything around them collapsed. Their method was simple but powerful: build a strong inner foundation, and the storms of life lose their power. This video will guide you through the four Stoic pillars that can reset the way you approach problems, stress, and uncertainty. Each pillar represents a mental tool that can transform the way you see challenges. First comes wisdom, the ability to see reality clearly and understand what is truly within your control. Then comes courage, the strength to face discomfort, make difficult decisions, and act with confidence even when fear appears. The third pillar is temperance, the discipline that allows you to control impulses, emotions, and destructive habits that quietly sabotage progress. The fourth pillar is justice, the principle that shapes how you treat others, creating stronger relationships and a life built on integrity. Together, these four pillars create a mindset that turns chaos into clarity. Many people search endlessly for complex life strategies, expensive programs, or external solutions to their problems. Stoic philosophy offers something different. It offers a mental framework that has guided some of history's strongest minds through the most difficult situations imaginable. These principles are simple enough for beginners, but powerful enough to transform the way a person lives. As this video unfolds, each pillar will be explored in a practical and clear way. The goal is not abstract philosophy, but real application. You will see how Stoic wisdom helps you stop wasting energy on things outside your control. You will understand why courage is not about removing fear, but about acting correctly despite it. You will learn how temperance builds discipline that protects your focus and peace of mind. And you will discover why justice, often overlooked in modern discussions, may be the foundation that keeps your life stable and respected by others. Along the way, lesser-known insights from Stoic thinkers will reveal how these ideas shaped powerful leaders and helped ordinary individuals develop extraordinary resilience. By the end of this video, the 4 pillars will no longer feel like ancient philosophical terms. They will become practical tools you can apply every single day. Watching until the end is important because these pillars work together like parts of a single system. Understanding one without the others leaves the structure incomplete. But when the full system becomes clear, something powerful happens. Problems that once felt overwhelming begin to shrink. Emotional reactions slow down. Decisions become clearer. Discipline becomes easier to maintain. Life does not become free from challenges, but the ability to handle those challenges grows stronger. This shift is exactly what Stoic thinkers aimed to create. They did not promise a life without difficulty. They promised a mind strong enough to face any difficulty without losing control. So if life sometimes feels chaotic, if stress and frustration appear too often, or if the search for clarity has been exhausting, the next few minutes may change the way you approach those struggles. The Stoics believed that mastering these 4 pillars could fix most of the problems people experience, not by changing the outside world, but by transforming the way a person responds to it. That transformation begins with understanding the foundation they built. Welcome to the channel, a place dedicated to discipline, mental clarity, and the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. If you are interested in building a stronger mindset, developing self-control, and learning powerful ideas that have guided great thinkers for centuries, this channel is for you. Subscribe to the channel and join a community focused not on quick motivation, but on true mastery of the mind. The journey into the 4 Stoic pillars begins now. Noise surrounds modern life. Messages arrive every minute. Opinions appear from every direction. A single comment online can change someone's mood for hours. A small problem at work can stay in the mind the entire day. Most people wake up and immediately begin reacting to news, reacting to notifications, reacting to what others say or do. The day becomes a chain of reactions. Someone criticizes you and anger appears. A problem appears at work and stress takes over. A small inconvenience happens and frustration grows larger than the event itself. This constant reaction slowly drains energy. The mind never rests because it is always chasing the next problem. Many people believe this chaos is normal. They assume life must always feel like a fight against the outside world. But the ancient Stoics saw the situation differently. They believed most suffering does not come from events themselves. It comes from the way the mind reacts to those events. A harsh comment from someone else is only sound. A mistake at work is only a moment in time. A delayed plan is only a small change in schedule. Yet the mind turns these moments into emotional storms. This is the core problem many people face today. Life is controlled by reaction rather than reason. Every opinion from others becomes important. Every small inconvenience feels like a crisis. Every emotional impulse demands immediate action. Stoicism teaches a completely different approach. Instead of trying to control everything outside, you learn to control what happens inside your mind. The world will always be unpredictable. People will always behave in ways you cannot control. Circumstances will always change. Trying to control all of it leads to exhaustion, but controlling your own thoughts and actions creates stability even in chaos. The Stoics built their philosophy around this simple shift. Stop fighting the world, start mastering the mind. From that idea, they developed 4 pillars that shape a stable and disciplined life. The first pillar is wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to see life clearly without confusion created by emotions or assumptions. Many problems exist because people misunderstand what is truly happening around them. The mind jumps to conclusions. It assumes the worst. It creates stories that increase stress and anger. Wisdom removes this distortion and replaces it with clarity. The most important lesson in Stoic wisdom is understanding what is within your control and what is not. This idea sounds simple, but it changes everything. Your actions are within your control. Your choices are within your control. Your effort is within your control. But the opinions of others are not within your control. The weather is not within your control. Past events are not within your control. The behavior of other people is not within your control. Yet many people spend most of their time fighting things that cannot be changed. Someone criticizes them and they try to force that person to change their opinion. A mistake from the past continues to replay in the mind even though it cannot be undone. Unexpected problems appear and the mind demands that reality should be different. This struggle creates frustration and emotional exhaustion. Stoic wisdom teaches that energy should only be spent on what can actually be influenced. Everything else must be accepted calmly. This does not mean giving up or becoming passive. It means directing effort in the correct direction. When you focus on your own actions and choices, progress becomes possible. When you fight uncontrollable events, progress becomes impossible. A beginner can practice this idea in simple daily situations. A coworker speaks harshly during a meeting. The reaction might be anger or the desire to argue. But wisdom pauses the reaction and asks a simple question: is this within my control? The other person's words are not within your control, but your response is. You can remain calm. You can answer with reason. You can choose to move forward without carrying resentment. That small moment shows the power of wisdom. Instead of chaos created by reaction, clarity guides behavior. Over time, this habit transforms the mind. Situations that once caused emotional storms begin to lose their power. The second pillar is courage. Courage is often misunderstood. Many people believe courage means feeling no fear. They imagine fearless heroes who face danger without hesitation. Stoic courage is different. It accepts that fear will always exist, discomfort will always exist, uncertainty will always exist. Courage simply means choosing the right action despite those feelings. Many problems in life continue for years because people avoid uncomfortable situations. A difficult conversation is delayed again and again. Responsibility is pushed away. Change is postponed because it feels uncertain. Avoidance feels safe in the short term, but it creates larger problems in the future. A relationship suffers because honest communication never happens. A career stagnates because risks are avoided. Personal growth stops because challenges are ignored. Stoic courage breaks this pattern. It teaches that discomfort is not an enemy. Discomfort is often a signal that growth is possible. Facing a difficult conversation may feel stressful in the moment, but it can resolve misunderstandings and strengthen relationships. Taking responsibility for a mistake may feel embarrassing, but it builds trust and respect. Accepting change may feel uncertain, but it opens new opportunities that fear would have hidden. Courage does not remove difficulty from life. It allows you to move through difficulty with strength. Imagine someone who wants to improve their life but fears failure. They delay starting a project because the outcome is uncertain. Weeks become months, and the opportunity slowly disappears. Courage interrupts that delay. It says begin even if the result is unknown. Effort itself becomes a victory because it replaces hesitation with action. Stoic thinkers believed that courage protects the mind from the paralysis created by fear. Every time courage is practiced, confidence grows stronger. Eventually, challenges that once felt overwhelming begin to feel manageable. The third pillar is temperance. Temperance represents self-control and balance. Many problems today come from the inability to control impulses. The modern world constantly encourages immediate satisfaction. Endless entertainment, constant consumption, and instant reactions dominate daily habits. When emotions appear, people respond instantly without reflection. Anger leads to harsh words. Boredom leads to endless distraction. Desire leads to unnecessary spending or unhealthy habits. Over time, these impulses weaken discipline and create regret. Stoic temperance teaches that true freedom comes from self-control. When impulses control behavior, life becomes chaotic. When discipline guides behavior, life becomes stable. Temperance does not mean removing pleasure from life. It means placing reason above impulse. It means choosing actions that support long-term well-being instead of short-term comfort. Consider a simple example. A stressful day ends and the mind looks for quick relief. Endless scrolling on a screen feels easy and comfortable. Hours pass without progress or rest. Temperance introduces a different choice. Instead of surrendering to impulse, you pause and decide what action truly supports your well-being. Perhaps it is reading, exercising, or resting properly. That small decision strengthens discipline. Over time, this discipline expands into every area of life. Emotional reactions become calmer because temperance creates a space between feeling and action. Habits become healthier because decisions are guided by intention rather than impulse. The Stoics believed that mastering impulses gives a person power over their own life. Without temperance, emotions and desires become invisible rulers controlling every decision. The fourth pillar is justice. Justice in Stoicism is not limited to laws or courts. It represents the way a person treats others in daily life. Humans are social beings who depend on cooperation and trust. When relationships are built on dishonesty, selfishness, or disrespect, life becomes complicated and stressful. Conflict grows, trust disappears. People feel isolated and suspicious of each other. Stoic justice creates the opposite environment. It encourages honesty, fairness, respect, and responsibility toward others. Acting with justice means treating people with dignity, even when it is difficult. It means being truthful, even when dishonesty would be easier. It means contributing to the well-being of the community, rather than focusing only on personal gain. When actions follow these values, life becomes simpler. There is no need to hide mistakes or maintain false appearances. There is no burden created by guilt or deception. Relationships become stronger because people trust your character. Justice also reminds us that every individual faces struggles that may not be visible. Responding with patience and fairness improves the environment around you. Imagine a situation where someone behaves rudely during a stressful moment. The natural reaction might be anger or retaliation. Justice pauses that reaction and considers a more balanced response. Perhaps the other person is facing pressure that is not visible. Responding calmly rather than aggressively prevents unnecessary conflict. This approach strengthens social harmony and protects your own peace of mind. Stoic thinkers believed humans are part of a shared community where each person plays a role in maintaining fairness and cooperation. Justice ensures that personal strength is used to support that community rather than damage it. When these four pillars are examined individually, each one appears powerful on its own, but their true strength appears when they work together. Wisdom provides clarity about what matters and what does not. Courage transforms that clarity into action, even when fear appears. Temperance controls impulses that might sabotage progress. Justice ensures that actions remain fair and respectful toward others. Together, they form a complete structure for navigating life. Imagine a challenge appears. Wisdom analyzes the situation and identifies what is within your control. Courage encourages you to take the necessary step rather than avoiding it. Temperance keeps emotions balanced, so decisions remain rational. Justice ensures the solution respects the rights and dignity of others involved. This cooperation between the pillars creates stability in situations that would normally create chaos. Instead of reacting blindly, the mind follows a system of reasoning and discipline. Over time, this system becomes a natural way of thinking. Problems that once felt overwhelming begin to feel manageable because the mind has a clear framework for responding to them. A simple daily practice can help build this mindset. At the end of each day or before making an important decision, ask 4 questions. The first question is about control. Is this situation within my control or outside it? If it is outside your control, the best response may be acceptance and calm focus on what can still be influenced. The second question is about courage. What action here requires bravery or honesty? Often the correct step is the one that feels slightly uncomfortable but leads to improvement. The third question is about discipline. Am I acting with self-control or simply following impulse? This question protects decisions from emotional reactions that could cause regret later. The fourth question concerns justice. Am I treating others fairly and respectfully in this situation? These 4 questions create a powerful pause in the mind. Instead of reacting automatically, you step back and evaluate the situation through the lens of Stoic principles. That pause alone can prevent many mistakes and unnecessary conflicts. Over time, these habits begin to reshape the way a person experiences life. Stressful events still appear, but they no longer dominate the mind. Criticism still occurs, but it loses its power to cause emotional turmoil. Difficult choices still exist, but they are faced with courage instead of avoidance. Discipline grows stronger because impulses are no longer allowed to control behavior. Relationships improve because honesty and fairness guide interactions. Life does not become free from difficulty. No philosophy can remove every obstacle or challenge. Stoicism never promised such an illusion. Instead, it offers a different kind of strength. It teaches the ability to remain steady even when circumstances are uncertain. The storms of life may continue to appear, but the mind becomes strong enough to navigate them without losing direction. The most powerful change created by these pillars is internal. The outside world may remain unpredictable, but your response becomes stable. Fear loses its control because courage faces it directly. Anger loses its control because temperance pauses emotional reactions. Confusion loses its control because wisdom clarifies what truly matters. Conflict loses its control because justice encourages fairness and cooperation. Slowly, the mind shifts from constant reaction to deliberate action. Instead of being pushed around by events, you begin guiding your own responses with intention. That transformation is the true promise of Stoic philosophy. It does not remove challenges, but it removes the chaos that uncontrolled reactions create. In that calm space, better decisions become possible. And when better decisions are repeated day after day, life gradually begins to change. Most people spend their entire lives trying to control the outside world. They try to control how others behave. They try to control every situation. They try to remove every difficulty from their path. But the world has never worked that way. Circumstances change, people disappoint, plans fail, problems appear when they are least expected. This is the reality every human being eventually faces. The difference is how a person responds to it. When the mind depends on perfect circumstances, peace becomes impossible. One small problem can destroy an entire day. One opinion from another person can control emotions for hours. Life becomes a constant battle against things that cannot be controlled. Stoic thinkers discovered a different path. Instead of trying to control the world, they focused on mastering the only thing truly within their power, their own mind. That is why Stoics remained calm in situations that made others panic. While others reacted with anger, they responded with clarity. While others complained about circumstances, they focused on their actions. While others waited for the world to become easier, they trained themselves to become stronger. This quiet discipline is the reason Stoic philosophy has survived for more than 2,000 years. It was not built on empty motivation, it was built on practical mental strength. The 4 pillars you learned in this video are more than philosophical ideas. They are tools that can reshape the way you approach life. Wisdom teaches you to see reality clearly and stop wasting energy on things outside your control. Courage pushes you to act even when fear or discomfort appears. Temperance gives you the discipline to control impulses and stay focused on what truly matters. Justice reminds you to treat others with fairness and integrity, creating stronger relationships and a clearer conscience. When these pillars work together, something powerful begins to happen. Problems that once felt overwhelming lose much of their power. Emotional chaos slowly disappears. Decisions become calmer and more intentional. Life will still present challenges. Difficult people will still exist. Unexpected situations will still appear. But the Stoic path changes your position in the middle of those storms. Instead of being pushed around by every event, you begin standing with quiet strength. The mind becomes steady. Focus returns. Energy is no longer wasted on anger, frustration, or regret. It is directed toward action, growth, and self-mastery. This is the real purpose behind Stoic philosophy. It is not about escaping life's problems. It is about developing a mind strong enough to face them without losing control. Many people search for quick motivation, hoping for temporary inspiration that fades after a few days. But lasting change does not come from short bursts of motivation. It comes from understanding principles that guide your thinking every single day. Stoicism offers those principles. It offers a way to train your mind the same way a warrior trains their body. Slowly, consistently, with discipline and awareness. Over time, that training builds a level of inner stability that most people never develop. The person who masters their mind cannot be easily shaken by criticism, failure, or uncertainty. They move through life with clarity while others remain trapped in reaction. If the ideas in this video change the way you see problems, stress, and control, then you are already taking the first step toward that stronger mindset. And there is much more to explore. Stoic philosophy contains powerful lessons about discipline, emotional control, resilience, and mental clarity that can completely transform the way you approach everyday life. This channel exists to explore those lessons in a clear and practical way so that anyone can apply them. Not just philosophers, not just scholars, but ordinary people who want a stronger mind in a chaotic world. So if you want to keep building that strength, make sure you subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you become part of a community focused on discipline, clarity, and the timeless wisdom that has guided great thinkers for centuries. And if you found value in this video, take a moment to like it. That small action helps this message reach more people who may also be searching for a calmer and more disciplined way to live. You can also share this video with someone who feels overwhelmed by problems or who could benefit from a stronger mindset. Sometimes a single idea at the right moment can change the direction of someone's life. Thank you for spending this time exploring Stoic wisdom. Keep training your mind, keep building discipline, and keep choosing clarity over chaos. I will see you in the next video.